guys, happy Tuesday.
I feel like we've been off the air for a little bit.
I know, but we did that long PTTV on Friday. It was
That's true.
really fun. That was one of the
That
fun
was
ones
fun.
because we had time. We could discuss everything. It was so
That
fun.
might have been our most fun one ever.
I know, it was so fun. We had so much like chattering. It was really fun. Okay, I cannot wait to show you. The Blair bag is back, and so many people have been asking for it, and these take a while to make. They're all beautifully hand cut, hand stitched. I love the contrast white stitching on this. I love this bag so much. This is just like, it's like, we always like to say this is the Mimi, but like the slouchy, surfy California version of the Mimi, because it is essentially the Mimi bag body, right?
Yeah.
With a little bit of a twist to it. And it's kind of just like the chilled Mimi bag. It's like truly real, like, hey, right? But like really cool, and like you could take her into any occasion, and she's just like great.
Like a West Coast, like Malibu, Santa Barbara,
Montecito, yeah,
chill, right?
yeah, totally chilled, but beautiful, just beautiful bag.
Palisades.
I love the leather on it. I just love how it hangs. I love how it feels. It's just wonderful. I love the suede. I love the suede color. It's so rich, and it's just one of my favorite bags.
But it's like sophisticated but chill. That's a tricky balance.
Yes,
right?
and I feel like you can wear this all year round, and you could definitely. Always a question is, can I clip a crossbody to it? Yes. And the most popular pairing is always this red and green one, because I feel like it's like so rich, and the belt has this kind of equestrian feel, so people love using this one with it. I have it pretty short here, so let me make it a little longer, and it's so comfy with it. So it looks like that, super comfy. I love it, and it's great for running around with the crossbody. I'm more of a shoulder strap type person, but you know, it works for either one, so I think it's just a great bag. So it's back, and a lot of people have been waiting, and I would grab one because these take a long time to make. Because they're all really like meticulously, small batches, and it's just like, look at this, how beautiful this workmanship is. It's really wonderful, and they're all made here in California. This guy, love this guy. What else is going on? Hey, thank you guys so much for your very, very kind comments about the About Us, because we shared that about us, the story about us. It's pretty funny. I was thinking, I forgot a lot of it until I was listening to it again, and I'm like, wow, that's so funny that I just feel like, and it's so funny because I was listening to it again, and I made one and one. Like, you know how we really love those endurance race shows? So I feel like after I listened to it, I'm like, oh my God, the two of us have been running a race this whole time, and we've been at different aid stations, and every time we get to like a different area.
And there's helpful people all along the way.
Always helpful people.
Yeah.
You find all these people along the way, and it's really similar. It's the same feeling.
Got our night lights on.
Got our night lights on, especially during Christmas time. I recall those nights where they were just really long, and it's just so funny. And then it really is like that, where it's like a total ultimate endurance race, and the race has we're still racing,
still going.
And it's just different parts of the hill. And then you fall down the hill, and then you figure things out.
Strike your knee.
And I was thinking this morning with the paperweights. Like, we started with hand cutting, but then you're like, this doesn't work. And instead of giving up because you can't figure it out, you got to find more efficient ways to do it. And I think that's the best part about being an entrepreneur, is that for me, I love solving problems, and I always love like, hey,
no shortage of that when you have your own business.
No, but yeah. I think you have to love it. You know, like I love it. Like, and I even with where I used to work, it was always like that, and I would always be like, okay. And even when you had something that was actually working, my mind always goes to like, how can we make this more efficient, or is there a better way to do this? Because I feel like there's always a better way, most of the time, but sometimes it's like, it's pretty good what it is. So I don't know, it's just really part of the, I guess, fun.
You got to know when to leave it alone and when to.
Yes. Yeah. After it's like good, then just leave it alone. But I find that with what we do, especially like now with technology, it's never leaving it alone. Because there's always a better way to do it, and
it's always evolving.
And it's kind of exciting right now. We're at a very exciting time.
It's simultaneously frustrating and exciting.
Yes, and
so I think when we first started our careers, like high school time or whatever, it was a different era. This pace of change wasn't there, so you really could perfect
everything
something.
that you're doing.
Yeah.
but the pace of change it's very fast, and things evolve and things change, and you got to kind of keep up with it, which makes it really fun in a weird way. But it's just
infinite
really fun.
game.
It's an infinite game. So if you haven't listened to
The point
it,
of an infinite game is to stay playing in the game.
Yes.
That's all. There's no winning.
There's no winning.
It's just that you're
Just
playing.
and you have to keep evolving. So the link to that YouTube video of how we started is in the link tree in our when you go to the Parker Thatch.
It's a little animated. When you get to it, it'll sort of
yes,
jiggle for
and when
you.
you click on it, you kind of have to scroll down, and you'll see the YouTube feed. But anyways, it was just really fun. Thank you guys so much for all your nice comments, and I just feel like sometimes when you understand the story of how things started, you have a deeper appreciation for whatever the product is, maybe good or bad. But I always feel like it changes when I'm using it, I'm like, oh, like I just remember Cliff Bars, like sometimes you're just like, it's a Cliff Bar. But after listening to the story of how they started, I was like, okay, every time I eat one, I'm like, oh, okay, that was hard how they started the whole thing. So anyhow, and then like today I was listening to Brian Johnson, who's on his path to longevity. That's the guy. But he started Venmo, and he also started Braintree, and I didn't know his story, and now I'm like, oh, he's cool. Like he really started door to door. So anyways, it's just funny. And then I was listening to our story, and I'm like, okay, Matt and I, our marketing skills in the beginning were very poor. Door to door. We went mailbox to mailbox. Do you remember that? Walking? Oh my God, that was crazy. Anyways, it was just funny. And then, but what's good is when you notice that garnered 0 sales, you need to stop and move on.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. So anyways, God, we've had many adventures along this way, and our adventure's not ended yet, but it's just super, just like it's an adventure, and it's part of the race. And sometimes there's aid stations, and I don't think when did we come upon a aid station, would you say? So when you're in a race, there's aid stations. I can't think of one where I feel like
so many times when you run into helpful people's an aid station. Customers, other people in the same industry are helpful.
Those are all aid
vendors,
stations. Yeah. And I was watching this guy who was doing the Appalachian Trail run, and they have these things called
that's so cool.
Trail magic. And so when you're running along the trail,
I wish we could do the same in the entrepreneurial realm. Wouldn't that be cool?
Sprinkle a little trail magic. So so people will just put a igloo ice bucket out in the middle of the trail, and there's gonna be like sodas in there, and like I guess it's just like when people hit the trail magic, they're like, wow.
Yeah,
so anyways, I think that's pretty cool. So that's what it reminded me of, is an endurance race. And I think it's just like Matt and I have been running this race together side by side for a very long time, and it's just it gets more and more fun, actually. It's like, I think,
and I'm grateful to have been running it with you.
Yes, me too. All right.
It would be a lot worse running solo.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine solo.
Yeah,
that would be hard, and that's when you really need to have endurance, because you need to have someone when you're. And I find during the endurance races, especially at night, they never run by themselves. They always have to have a running partner, because safety, but also I think you start falling asleep, or you could easily give up. Those are the times, and you need that running partner to be like, hey.
And the way they explain it, and this resonates, is that you're weak. Everyone gets weak.
Yeah.
Right. But you get weak at different times, so then you can help the other guy when they're weak.
That's right. Yeah. Or they get irrational, and you're like, hey, you know what? Ridiculous. Because there's so many times when I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. How many times I can't. No more.
I wish I could record each time you say it.
So and that just ignores you.
At the end, you have to play back. It would have like a date under it. I'm done. I'm out. No more. This is like Chinese torture. Eyeballs poked out. No, but then you go back, and the next day you just have to change your mindset. And I think it's just like find a little trail magic.
Yeah, and I think all this exercising we've been doing, I think really helps in this mindset toughening.
And that's fine. That we're talking about our business, but I think it's the same in life.
Anything. Yeah. Anything. You know what? Like if you really believe in it, you really have to keep going. That's what it is. And I really believe in what we're doing, and I really believe.
It's so weird, because when we first started, remember your parents' house? And I couldn't even afford books. So it was like I was like,
oh my God,
there's this one book from an entrepreneur couple, husband and wife couple.
Yeah.
I've got to track this down, but I'll never forget it. It basically said that it's like,
you're just going to want to quit. Like,
Yeah.
and the difference between successful entrepreneurs and not are the ones who stay in it.
Gotta keep moving. Yeah. Oh, that's right. When we couldn't afford books, that's right. So, you know, when we first started, our whole thing was like, we need to send our products out to the magazine editors. Honestly, I couldn't even afford to buy a magazine. I was like, we don't have $5 to do this. So we would go to the grocery store and I would pretend like I'm buying something. And then I would be like writing down like the math, remember?
Yeah.
And then it was just like so absurd what we were doing. Because we didn't even have cameras back then. It wasn't like you could take a picture. It was like you had to write it down, but then you couldn't like get caught because we were at Barnes and Nobles, they get so mad at you.
Yeah.
So I would always be like in the corner, like writing stuff down. Like, okay, is this right? This person's the editor of this.
Yeah.
So funny. So anyways, yeah. There's no phones. It made it very hard back then when we first started because there's no phones, so you couldn't do any of that stuff. There's no taking pictures of stuff or scanning. It was like you had to write it down. Or you had to buy the book, which we couldn't afford. Anyways, it was just really funny. There was
That's
just
why I'm
like
so loyal to Costco now. It's like they helped us at other times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they were all these brands. Again, they're helpful people along the way.
Yes.
Like when you run into that.
So the aid station. Aid station.
Exactly.
So anyhow, really fun. Really, you know, there's so many crazy stories, and we'd love to share them. But I think the story of the Mimi bag is just really funny and weird. And sometimes I'm like, God, how do we like think that was like even okay to do? But we were just like, let's do it. So I think that's what you guys have to see is like when you feel like doing it, just do it. I mean,
everyone
don't do
will
something
tell you no.
crazy where it's going to hurt you.
Everyone will tell you no. It's never hard to find people who will tell you no.
That's true.
You just have to listen to yourself.
That's true. Anyhow, so Blair Back is back. Follow us starting tomorrow. We're going to start a trip to Japan. I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun, but it's going to be really hot, I have a feeling. So you're going to see us really sweaty, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, so Matt and I were just talking about chafing and like walking out in the heat. So I got some Mega Babe. Thanks, Katie Storino. We're gonna try it out, right?
Good.
All right. Have a great day, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.